you been?
Oh, far better than I deserve.
Yeah?
Yeah, crazy, stupid, busy, but better than I deserve. Yeah.
How's your drive?
Oh, dude, I'm so tired of driving. I'm so tired of driving. I just want to spend more time at home. I just, starting to rain a little bit out there, but, dark in the rain, I don't like driving, period. Yeah, I just don't. Dude, I got some issues. Okay, what's going on?
I was in a R-Trucy mastermind.
Yeah, how's that going?
Phenomenal. Like, couldn't go better.
Okay. These people are really taking their businesses to a whole new level?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, we've got people in there that are doing, they've got $500,000, $1 million on the books right now in profit.
Yeah.
I'm talking like big stuff.
Yeah, and did this come all of a sudden overnight, all at once, or what?
No, I mean, they've been working the system. They've been coming to the masterminds. They've been doing everything. But I've been in there for the past 2 days, and there's like a big problem that I couldn't really help them with.
I got an idea. I know what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
which is why I called you.
Their least favorite uncle's trying to reach too deep in their pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So here's, just, without getting into the particulars of any one person's numbers, and that's I don't want to go there yet. I don't want that confidentiality breached. If it's folks that have in this year, I know we only got 45 days left in this business year, but if it's in this year, they have gone from struggling to rock star, then I got an idea that they can do now that sets them in place to not only fix this year a bit, but they can crush 18, 19, and beyond even better.
Well, here's their problem, is they weren't making money. They weren't making that much money in the prior years.
Yeah.
So now they've had one hell of a year, and they're like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do to minimize my tax? What can I do now? And honestly, I didn't have an answer for them.
Okay, so here's it's kind of a technical geeky nerdy thing here, but I got it. Okay, so I'm assuming most of them were using LLCs.
Yeah, they all are.
Okay, all right. So what they've got to do is they've got to reposition their LLC. They don't have to do anything with the Secretary of State where they're filed, but they've got to go back and amend and restate their operating agreements in their LLCs. Okay. And we're going to add some special.
I'm going to take notes.
Okay, take notes on this, because this is ninja stuff that I don't stand on stage and talk about this stuff, because this is too good. Okay, this is what they got to pay me money for. All right, so we go back and we amend their operating agreements or their LLCs back to January of this year. An amended and restated operating agreement effective January of 2017. And we insert a bunch of language where they elect to be taxed as sub-S corporations.
Okay. What is that going to do for them?
Well, what it's going to do for them is they got to do one other thing, and then it's going to let them take all of that income that was probably getting filed on a Schedule C, begging for an audit, begging to be all subject to self-employment tax, and it lets them just pay themselves a reasonable salary, $80,000, $90,000, $100,000, and then take the other chunk of profit. Say they made $500,000 in profit, so they can literally take and pay ordinary income tax and Social Security tax on $100K, and take $400,000 as an owner's distribution and avoid some Social Security tax and avoid some other stuff with it.
Got it.
Okay? FICA, FUTA, and so on, that's kind of out there, way out there. So it lets them do that, but it also sets them into next year where they get to do a couple of other things. Now, they need to pay that salary of close to $100,000 for this year, because then they're going to want to elect to defer 25% of that salary, 25 grand of it. That might even be a little bit too high, depending upon their age, and push it into a solo 401k that they can then match with their company. They take off the employee hat, they put on the employer hat. They can then match it almost up to $2 to 1. So for every dollar they put in as an employee, say they put in $22,000 or $18,000. Oh, hey, thank you. Oh, Parch, thank you. I'm not waiting for the straw.
So, going back to this. This is kind of a threefold ninja move, okay? Step one is we got to retool their operating agreements. Step two is we got to get them to elect Subchapter S status, and they got to take advantage of a special IRS revenue ruling that came out in 2013.
Okay.
So they got to file tax form 2553, and there's a 2013 revenue ruling. I can't remember the rest of the number. It's not there, okay? And it lets them elect Subchapter S tax status back to January of this year. That then lets them pay themselves the reasonable salary. You know, take 22.5, multiply it times 4. That should be their max reasonable salary,
Okay.
give or take. Okay. Then they can push 1/4 of that reasonable salary, 22.5, into a solo 401k. Company match it. Take a tax deduction for the match of $44,000.
And they can do all this right now.
Yes, but they don't have much time because we're down to 45 days left in the year.
Right.
But if they hustle, they can do it now, and they're set up to just do it at their leisure in 18,
Yeah. So
and 19, and
so
20.
Would you also suggest that they set up like they sock away some money, like depending on their age, set it up like a Roth or whatever too?
Yeah, but not. It's tricky because with this kind of income, they're not going to qualify for Roths, so they're actually going to have to fund a traditional, and then backdoor convert.
Got it.
And they can convert right after they fund it. But with that kind of income, they can't make a direct contribution to a Roth IRA. They can only convert. They can only contribute to a traditional, take the tax deduction on it. They don't even want to take the tax deduction. They're converting right away. Okay. So it's. But here's the next kicker.
So they can do that.
Yeah, they can do that. But there's the next sweet thing.
Okay.
Okay. So I've talked about how they can change their tax status, start sucking money out, not subject to self-employment taxes, which saves them about 17% or so. Okay, 15 to 17%, depending upon where they are. So, by the way, 17% on a couple $100,000 is big money.
It's big
money. They can push money into a 401k. The employer match portion of like $44,000 is a deduction to their company.
Right.
That's not taxable to them until they take it out or convert it to a Roth.
Got it.
And they can wait till they have a lean year to do that conversion. And then there's one more sweet little deal that they can do. This is really
So they can convert that when they have.
a lean year.
Right.
Yeah, when they fall back down under 100K or whatever, or they build up enough tax deductions so they buy a big
Or
rental
they can do
property.
that. Got it.
So then the last twist is this. And they can't really do this retroactive for this year, but they can get it in place to make it hammer for 18. Just kill it. They can set it up to where their business, their corporation, their sub-S entity, it's an LLC, taxes a sub-S. So the IRS sees it as a sub-S. Asset protection, it's got an LLC. It's the best of both worlds.
Yep.
I got a friend I really respect. He and I kind of disagree on this, but that's okay. You know, smart guy out of Atlanta. They can then set it up to where their corporation starts paying their health insurance premiums.
Got it.
And if you've seen the typical health insurance premium,
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
$500, $800, $900 a month, paid for by the business as a deduction to the business, adds back onto their W-2, and then there's a loophole that they can wipe it off of their W-2 when it shows up on their 1040. They're buying health insurance with tax-free dollars.
Got it. Okay.
Okay?
Dude, that is sick.
This is the stuff that you got to get super geeky. You got to learn from really smart cats to learn how to do this stuff. I don't research the code. I just do what 3 other smart tax guys tell me to do, and I set it up in my business, and I see how it works.
Got it.
Yeah.
'Cause when we were at this mastermind, they're asking me all these questions, and I'm like super happy they've been following the system. They're knocking it out of the park.
They're
making
killing
a ton of money. But then I just had to let them know, and I didn't have the answer for them.
Yeah.
You know, I know what we do and what I do.
By the way, this tea's not that good, but anyhow, whatever.
But I was like, you know what? I don't have an answer for it, but I can get it.
Yeah.
I have to put these guys on a webinar to teach them, or to at least show them a couple things, because we're all in a very private.
Okay, so one of the things you can do to get a better grip on some of this is if you go to my blog, Watson Invested. I've actually got a link to HSA's stuff. And you can watch a webinar I did that's up there on that explains some of this.
Okay.
And I'll give you some of the code sections and so on regarding using your health insurance to pay for it. It's pretty cool.
Let me ask you this. Would you be interested in doing the webinar with me?
Yeah, sure. For you, yeah. Yeah.
When can you do it?
You really want me to look at my calendar now? Okay, let's see what we got.
Well, here's the thing. There's not much.
I know there's not much time left in the year. And my staff and I agreed that I am not taking on much new stuff or any new stuff. If they even heard me say not much new, they'd be like, you said no new stuff. So,
Could you do it like mid-November?
we'd need to do it before that even. I'm looking at, you know what? I'll tell you what, November 10th. It's a Friday, it's Veterans Day, it's a legal holiday, the courts are closed, I won't have to be in court that day, and there's no mail. A lot of people will be taking the day down, and I could do the webinar then. We could record it, then you play it whenever you want to.
Okay. I'll have as many I want to have a few people on this thing.
Live, some of the heavy hitters.
Yeah, sure.
I want them to be able to answer questions.
Sure.
Or ask questions.
Ask questions that I can answer. I probably know who some of the heavy hitters are.
You do know that.
Yeah. By the way, are they following the other suggestions that we've talked about?
Yes. Absolutely.
Selling stuff and not buying more?
Yes.
Good. Starting to put some money in their pockets?
I had a conversation with him and I said, dude, you got 32 deals right now. Like, you need to make a move right now, especially with the last part of the year and everything else. He's doing more deals than I'm doing. And I just told him, I was like, dude, you're setting yourself up. You need to make a move right now.
Dude, if this tax reform bill that's going to cook through Congress doesn't come all the way through, if we don't see tax reform happen, we could get jammed in the U.S. economy pretty bad. The Dow might drop 4,000 or 5,000 points, and that could be bad news.
You got 32 rehabs and that happens? No.
You don't need 32 rehabs.
No.
You need like 8 or 9 max.
I've told him, but he is one that's going to be on the call. And
is he selling some of these things? Please tell me he's like down to 30. He's down now to 32 from like 40.
Dude, here's what I told him. I said 3 to 1.
Yeah.
You cannot buy another one until you sell 3. Is what I told him.
Did he agree?
Yeah, he totally agreed.
Has he sold any yet?
No, not yet. But I mean, they're all in the middle of the rehab. And I told him, I was like, dude, it is horrible for you to have 32 deals in the middle of a rehab going into
The winter months, and oh my gosh, New York where it snows. I don't care how hot the market is, dude. I don't care. So,
I mean, if,
he has, let me tell you this, he has over quadrupled. He probably has 10x'd his business in 1 year.
yeah, well, that's cool, but has he 10x'd his bottom line?
He's made $1,093,000 this year, and I do know that.
As in banked?
Banked with what he's got into the
Gross
hopper.
or net?
Gross.
Okay.
So he's
I
done
know
right at.
taste good, but I gotta have a sip.
He's one of them that has an issue. We have 4 people that have a big issue.
Yeah, well, he's got some other situations. He can still do the solo 401k for sure, and he can. It depends on how many real employees he has.
Yep.
Because if he can, his wife is just his only other employee, then he can double that up and shove $100,000 out that way into the retirements. Because otherwise, if that's
100,000 of the 500.
Yeah. The other possibility is, and I'm not an expert on this, but you're talking these kind of cats that are making $500,000 and more. Roth IRAs and 401ks ain't the place to be.
No,
it's
I know.
time to go to defined benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean those
That's what I
are you got to go there because I just was talking with a buddy last week. He shoved $300,000 into his defined benefit.
Yeah, I know. I can do 400 a year.
That's a serious amount of money. You've only got to do that 3 or 4 years, and your retirement dollars are funded.
Yeah. Is it possible to? What was the date again?
The 10th, Friday the 10th of November.
Friday the 10th. We'll do it with those.
Yeah, just special
it's
invite to them.
It's only going to be a few people.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, and I'll have that revenue ruling up. I'll have the forms out. I'll explain what they got to do. You know, you got to kind of like have some degree of evidence to say you intended to be a sub S as of the beginning of the year or by March of this year. And the IRS rules really gotten pretty lax on that, so we try and do an amended restated operating agreement going back to January. I don't even think January 1st, January 5th, 8th, whatever.
Just a weird date like that.
Yeah, that's what we were trying to do. That's what we were planning on doing. We just never filed the form that we needed to by March 15th, and so then we can slide in under the deadline.
Got it.
And we're really only trying to go back 1 year. I did this for one client last year. We're only trying to go back 1 year, but we're really setting him up for 18 because if he's got 32 rehabs right now, you know the big paydays are going to be an 18 on that.
No, for sure.
So
I mean,
yeah.
he's going to have like the mother of all problems.
Yeah, but it's a fixable problem.
No, it's totally, if he does it now.
Yeah, it's a fixable problem. I mean, the worst case scenario is he has to write a check to the IRS.
Yeah, and he doesn't want to do that.
Well,
I mean, he's going to have to.
He's going to have to. I mean, if you got a choice between going broke or writing a check to the IRS,
You write the check.
write the check.
You write the check. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I have spent 20 years figuring and juggling and weighing and balancing how to make six figures, just over six figures, in discretionary livable income, and not pay much, if any, federal income tax. But I'm running out of the magic because I'm not buying more properties.
Right.
So I'm running out of juice for that, and it's just getting a little bumpy. And so I actually got to write a check to the IRS, dude, when I get back home.
Yeah, I know.
And then I'm not even, that's for 16. I'm not even ready to even begin to think about it 17.
But, same. I've already put all these plans in place, and so that's what's kept it down to where it's small dollars that I got sent to the IRS.
But still, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. I'm gonna get it set up with them.
See, the stuff I just hit you with a freight car stuff.
No, I know.
And it's stuff that I've layered on top of each other year after year after year. And so I'm just giving you the whole stack.
Yeah.
So you're looking at this monster stack of nachos going like, how do we find the bottom?
Yeah. Can you explain it more under the webinar? I mean, obviously.
Yeah, I'll have more time. I'll be able to show graphics and visuals.
How long should it take? Just so I tell them.
45, 50 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell them probably 90 minutes because you and I can talk like crazy.
Yeah, we can. There's no doubt about that, yeah.
So,
yeah.
Okay, dude.
Well, I appreciate you coming here,
Yeah.
for sure. I know you didn't have to do it by any means.
Yeah,
but
well, let's find somewhere else to get some better tea, dude.
get some better tea. Dude,
Yeah.
I did the best I could.
I know.
I did the best that I could.
Well, this is easy off the freeway because I was blowing through it. I know.
Here, why don't we do this?
Okay.
Why don't we go to Starbucks? I'll buy you a Starbucks.
Oh,
I'll get you a Starbucks tea.
dude, yes.
Is that good?
Yes, that's awesome. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you, dude. Let's go get you that tea.
Let's go.
And all right.
Let me take care of this, okay?